Alright guys, going to be going over the cash lineup for week 5 of the NFL DFS slate. Going to be going over the DraftKings lineup as normal. I'm going to be starting off at the running back position here. So there's some tough options here because there's a lot of running backs in good situations. You could obviously just pay up for the safe floor, and Todd Gurley has been a beast this year. It's going to be like 20 points for you. But I really like Melvin Gordon paying down a little bit and hopefully getting that same production. You know, he did have that one bad game against the Rams, but he still put up 16 DK points. I think I'm going to start off my lineups with him. And then you could even go with Saquon Barkley here. I'm not going to do that, but he's been very safe. You look at Christian McCaffrey. He's been very safe. So really, it's just all these options are really good. You can even go with James Conner, who's just an elite matchup. This team has been torn up by Christian McCaffrey and also Alvin Kamara the last 2 weeks. I really like that one. Joe Mixon in a nice spot as well. But where I think I'm going to go with this next spot is going to be TJ Yeldon going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they have just been getting tore up by opposing teams' running backs, so I really like TJ Yeldon. You're paying down a little bit, and he's done pretty well. Let's look at his game log here. So it's been pretty nice, been pretty safe and steady. I don't mind that option, so we'll put him in there for now. But like I said, those are some elite options there. It's going to be tough to figure out which ones to go with there. So now let's get into the receivers here. Obviously, you go with AB in that nice matchup. Same thing with Julio, just a nice matchup. I really like Adam Thielen here as well. Going in a nice match against Minnesota or against Philadelphia, who just got tore up by Corey Davis. And obviously, Adam Thielen's a way better receiver than Corey Davis, so I think I'm going to be putting Adam Thielen in there. And then we scroll down a little bit. Now, I don't mind Corey Davis again this week. Alshon Jeffrey, though, he is also in a nice spot. That game is a nice game to stack. You see what he did last week. He had 9 targets, 8 receptions, 100 yards, 27 DK points. And he's going against Minnesota, who's just been really struggling on defense, so I like him as well. And then we're going down some more. Looking at D.D. Westbrook going against that Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the way to beat them is kind of how the Denver Broncos try to. They use Emmanuel Sanders a lot, and I think D.D. Westbrook is going to be doing a lot of those same routes as what Emmanuel Sanders did. So I do like D.D. Westbrook as an option, but I also really like Marvin Jones. He's priced up a little bit higher. Let me find him. Marvin. All right, so Marvin Jones right here going against Green Bay. So he's averaged over 25 DK points per game against them since he's joined the Detroit Lions. Now, he hasn't had the best stats so far, but his targets are there. He hasn't received under 6 targets, and the yards have been there as well. Heck, he could actually have a couple more touchdowns if Matthew Stafford had hit him. I'm going to go with him right now, and then I really do like D.D. Westbrook as an option, but let's look at Valdes-Scantling for the Green Bay Packers. Now, it's looking like Geronimo Allison and, well, Randall Cobb has been ruled out, but it's also looking like Geronimo Allison might be out with that concussion. So if he is, that just makes Scantling just a nice, safe lock play. He'll be playing all the snaps, at least like 80% of them. And it's really hard to see him not 3Xing at this salary. So I do like this. It's either going to be him or D.D. Westbrook. You can even switch in D.D. Westbrook instead of Marvin Jones. That could be a little bit safer option. Do like D.D. as a cash option. All right, so now we're getting to tight end. So if I'm going to be going with Carson Wentz, I'm going to try to fit in Zach Ertz. I would have to pay down from like Adam Thielen or something. But I'm going to be going with Vance McDonald in this one. So that leaves me with $5,000 kind of per player. So quarterback, you go with Big Ben. You go with Matt Ryan. Don't mind those options. Aaron Rodgers is priced down a little bit too much. Carson Wentz, though. So it's either going to be Carson Wentz for me or it's going to be Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford's a little bit safer going against this Green Bay Packer team, so I do think he'll get you around 20 DK points. But then again, I really, really do like this matchup for Carson Wentz. He came back, looked really good last week. He threw the ball 50 times. I think that's going to be more of the same. So it's kind of trying to decide between those two. Let's go with Matthew Stafford for now since I have Marvin Jones in there, but obviously I could go with Carson Wentz because I have Alshon Jeffrey. And we have a lot left over for defense. Probably go with the Rams just to play it safe there. So now you guys have $700 to kind of change or adjust your build if you want to. Maybe you want to pay down for defense. So let's get DD in there instead of Scantling. And then you're left with $3,100. And then you can probably just go with the Cardinals. Jaguars, still not a bad option. The Ravens I do like in this spot. And then the Jets are not in a bad spot. Case Keenum just got tore up. And then you could even go with the Bills if you want to, but let's go with the Jets for now. Still have 500 left over. This is not a bad start to your cash build. I do like this build. You could definitely adjust it a little bit. You can even go off of TJ Yeldon. So let's do this one real quick for you, trying to get all the good running backs in there, just so I can show you guys it. So Todd Gurley, I do like him. Let's get him in there. And then who should we go with? Should we go with Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, James Conner, just in that smash spot? Let's go with Christian McCaffrey just to see if we can do it. Scantling. Leaves us with 400. I think we can go down from Vance McDonald then to someone like maybe Nick Vannett. He should be getting more targets. He's the minimum price. So I do think he'll get you like 7 DK points. You could also go with my boy Ricky Seals-Jones. That's what we're going to do with this one. So Ricky Seals-Jones priced up a little bit, so that leaves you with 4,800 left. And now that makes it a little bit easier to fit in my guys. So D.D. Westbrook, put him in there. Boom. Nice solid lineup. Very decent cash options here for you guys. If you want to go RB heavy, this is the way that you want to do it. If you want to go receiver heavy, do the first lineup that I did for you guys. Should be a good week. Let's get those green screens going again. Another way to build a cash lineup, though, I do want to touch on it real quick because last week we kind of saw it. The game last week, the Bengals were just way too cheap, and you could just stack that game really easily to build a nice, safe lineup. That lineup that I made put up 200. It's just stacking that game. And there is another option you can do this week with potentially Atlanta and Pittsburgh. That's not going to be the option I'm going with this week just because it's not there isn't that much value, as much value in that game as there was last week, but still really not a bad option. It does have a nice safe floor. I even did it last night for the Thursday night game. I did a full slate lineup. Pretty much just stacked that whole game and then had Rams defense in there. The lineup that I did, stacking that whole game last night, put up 175. And now I had the Rams D, so it should at least get to 180, and that's going to cash for sure. So just really not a bad option to actually start stacking games in general. But that's all I have for you guys. Let's have a good week. Let's get those green screens going again. Thanks.